Hello students, welcome to online classes of geography of class 10. Now this is the chapter number 6. The class that I am going to conduct today is related to your 6th chapter, manufacturing industry, and this is the first class of this chapter. Now in this chapter the topics that I am going to discuss are manufacturing industry. First, the definition, what does it mean? Then it comes that why manufacturing industry are considered as an index of development. Then obviously when it is considered as an index of development, that means it is having a lots of importance. So what is the importance of a manufacturing industry? Now agriculture and manufacturing industry go side by side. So what is this complementary relationship between manufacturing industry and agriculture? Now how we can make our manufacturing industry much more efficient? What are the ways how we can achieve the efficiency? Though we are going to discuss about the ways of efficiency, but then too for the last 2 decades the manufacturing industry got stagnated. So why there was a stagnation, and then what is its contribution to the national economy? So these are the topics that I am going to discuss today. So let us proceed with the first topic, that is definition of manufacturing industry. Now manufacturing industry is what? Basically the raw materials that we acquire from the primary activities or from the primary sector that is being converted into finished products. That means these are all finished products, means these are all tangible products. These are all goods which are tangible, and it's by using machines it is there to manufacture. Now manufacturing is actually a process, and what is industry? Industry is the geographical site where this process of transformation takes place. So cloth from cotton, sugar from sugarcane, paper from wood, iron from iron ore, aluminium from bauxite are such examples. Now all these, whether it is whether it is cloth, sugar, paper, iron, aluminium, every transformation is having an ideal site, ideal location where such transformation is taking place. So that area or that geographical site is considered as industry, and the process is termed as manufacturing. In other words, how we can define manufacturing? It is the mechanical and chemical transformation. Now I am just giving an example. A cotton ball is plucked from the cotton bushes. Okay. Now mechanically we are going to transform it. How? We are making a cotton ball, from a cotton ball a yarn, a thread. So mechanically we have changed its structure. Then that thread is being weaved out and we got the fabric. Now when we are adding up some various types of colors, dyes to give a print or to make a different color, we are adding some chemical. This is chemical transformation. And then a ready product is with us, that is a fabric, and when that fabric is given a shape we get a garment. So you can see in every stage the value is added, and every stage mechanically and chemically there is a change. So this process is termed as manufacturing industry. Now let us see why manufacturing industry is considered as an index of development. Now what does this indicate? The areas or the countries which are developed in manufacturing industries, they are having a high standard of living, and that is why their rate of development or their status of development is also very high. So why it is considered so? Now when the industries develop, what develops simultaneously? The places where or the countries where agriculture is the main aspect or they are just providing the backbone. If we develop the industry, side by side agriculture also develops. So what does this indicate? Developing industry relates to development of agriculture. How is it so? The fertilizer that we are getting, the implements that we are using it, various other things that we are requiring, that is required for the agricultural activities, all these are being supplied, like PVC pipes and other implements, all these are being supplied by the industries. So when these industries are developing, agriculture simultaneously also develops. Number one. Number two, it helps reducing the pressure of the people from agriculture sector, and then it shifts to industrial sector. Now the people, those who are getting wages from the agricultural sector, obviously they earn more from the industrial sector. So what does this indicates? That those who are unable to acquire their livelihood from the agricultural sector, they just shift to the industrial sector, or they are doing some work in the mining areas or in the industrial areas which is not related to the skillful work. It is just generating employment, so it reduces the state condition of poverty. It creates regional balance, it reduces regional disparities, or it creates regional balance. And after fulfilling the demands of our country, what is the resultant? The surplus is exported to the different countries of the world, and in return we earn foreign exchange. So that means we are able to develop the industrial sector, agricultural sector. We are there to reduce the burden on the agricultural sector. We are, that is, manufacturing is generating employment. It is eradicating poverty. It is creating a balance between the entire regions of the country. And lastly, it helps to earn foreign exchange. So when all these are so very positive with this part of manufacturing industry, that is the reason we considered that the manufacturing industry just helps to measure the economic strength of a nation, and it is also considered as a backbone of economic development. So let us proceed with the next part. You can find out the more or less the similar points only there, that importance of manufacturing industry. What are the importance? Number one, manufacturing industry, it helps to modernize the agriculture. Number two, it reduces the dependence of the people on agriculture. Number three, it generates more income because by creating jobs. Number four, it reduces poverty, or it eradicates unemployment and poverty. Number five, it helps bringing down regional disparities, and by establishing industries in the tribal and the backward areas. Now how is it so? The government, if suppose there are some that is the tribal areas or the backward areas, and government want to establish industry over there. So the people, those who will be employed over there, how they are motivated to move to those areas? They are getting extra incentives. Suppose the people, those who are working in the plain areas or in the areas which are not backward, they are earning 50,000 in a month, and if they are being transferred to those remote areas, just for their motivation, government is adding up extra benefit of that area, that is more extra 5,000 is added to their salary, or 10,000 is added to their salary. These are considered as the incentives given by the government to just reduce the disparities, to reduce the imbalances. So in this way, it brings down the regional disparity. Now the exports of the manufactured goods expand the trade and commerce, and then it helps to earn foreign exchange. India should convert this raw material into wide variety of finish. Now India is endowed with quite a good variety of the resources, and India is also privileged with that it is able to transform these resources into a finished products, and that is why when the manufacturing industry is developing, India is also prospering. That means the economic prosperity of a country depends upon manufacturing industry. So what is the last point? The last point is industrial development brings prosperity to the economy. So these are the points that is related to the importance of manufacturing industry. Now, let us see that how agriculture and industry are connected with each other. Although I have explained the fact in the previous part only, but then too once again I am just moving with it. Agriculture and industry go hand to hand or move hand to hand. How is it so? Agro industry means the agro based industry like cotton textile, jute textile, sugar industry. That means those industry will get the raw materials from the agriculture. When the agro industry develops, obviously there is a development of agriculture. Why it is so? Because they need to supply the raw material to these industries. So, development of agro based industry increases or it leads to the development of agriculture. Now, next, agriculture receive many materials for farming like fertilizer, pesticides, machineries. So, who all are producing these products? Obviously, it is being produced by the manufacturing sector. So, when manufacturing sectors are increasing the productivity of these products, simultaneously they are developing the agricultural sector too. And the last point is that competition between industry has increased not only production but also the productivity of agriculture. Now, what we can say that you can see there are lots of advertisements related to different types of fertilizers or different types of implements that can be used to in agriculture. So, what does this indicate? That when there is a competition between the manufacturing sector, between themselves only, so what is the resultant? The agriculture is getting developed. Why? Because they are endowed with lots of high quality products, or they helps to increase the productivity. So, these are the three basic what we can say the points that can indicate the complementary relationship between agriculture and industry which moves hand to hand. Now, you have seen that industry is basically there to develop the nation. So, how we can improve the status of manufacturing industry? What are the ways of efficiency? Now, our manufactured goods must be with the level of the quality or with the par with that that is the at par with the quality which is there in the international market. If our products are not able to compete in the international market, then obviously we are unable to earn the foreign exchange. Secondly, only if the quality is upgraded, it is up to the mark, then only we are there in the international market. And lastly, India will have to develop its industry if it wants to internationally develop. So, these are the three connected. First of all, the main thing, we have to be self-sufficient. The first is we have to be self-sufficient. If we are not self-sufficient, then obviously we cannot proceed with the export part, because after meeting our own demands, the surplus can be there to the there for the exporting purpose, and only that part can be that only the quality only we can export unless and until our quality is at par with the international products. So, first we have to be self-sufficient, then secondly we have to improve the standard of quality, and third we have to maintain this standard so that we stay in the international market. In this way we can increase our efficiency and we can be there in the international level. Now, though we are trying to improve our quality and to increase our productivity, but there was one aspect that for the last 2 decades the GDP of the manufacturing sector got stagnated at 17%. Now, what are the reasons why it got stagnated? Now, because our technology of the manufacturing sector was not superior. they lack resources in terms of technology. Number one. Number two, the young generation population. The present young generation, we need youthful, manufacturing sector needs youth population. It does not depends upon the children group, neither it depends upon the old age group. It depends upon the adult and the youth group. So if our adult and the youth group is not having a better knowledge, skillful knowledge, they are not technically sound, then obviously our manufacturing industry cannot give the best results. So we were lacking in the youthful skill population. Third, innovation and research. There was no such means to get the innovative ideas and the research work. Why? Because we were short in funds. We were lacking in funds where we can create the where we can do with the research work, and then we can go for those innovative ideas. Number four, due to some local protest and that is laziness of the officers delayed the manufacturing product. Now obviously, if the high that is the professionals which are there in the manufacturing sector, specifically the managerial workers, they are there, if they and the that is the jobs which is being performed by that is the clerical post, those people who are looking after with the administrative part of the manufacturing industry, if they are not with their that is efforts or with their 24 hours work, that means they are not giving their 100%, they are lazy, the manufacturing sector obviously cannot give their best results. So we were not getting that best results because of laziness and because of some local protest. Why? Because like you have heard about that the industry that was there to develop in our state, in that with the sacrificing the agricultural plot, that Singur case where Tata were there to establish the nano factory or in the West Bengal, but due to the protest, local protest, the sector was unable to develop in our state. So in this way, due to some local protest, the manufacturing industries were stagnated. And lastly, many direct and indirect taxes made the investors, there are investors who are there to invest in the manufacturing sectors, but due to some indirect and the direct taxes, these investors were totally were not ready to invest in the manufacturing sectors of India. These are the foreign investors, FDI, foreign direct investment. They were not ready to invest in India because of some indirect or the direct taxes. So these were the basic reasons why for the last 2 decades the stagnation was there for the manufacturing sector. Now how the manufacturing sector start developing, or when it start developing? Now basically after the that is the formulation or after the implement of the new industrial policy which was initiated in the year 1991. After that, the import duties, or there was no trade tariffs in between, there was a free trade market. As a result, from that period, gradually the manufacturing sector started developing. Why? Because there was no such taxes that the investors has to face for investing in our country. So a National Manufacturing Competitive Council was developed in the year 2003 with this objective to increase the productivity and to solve the problems that has developed due to the stagnation for the last 2 decades. Now another some points were there that why there was a stagnation, because our resource use was not proper, there was inefficiency in the use of resources. The focus on export of cheaply mined metals ore in place of high technology products, that was our main focus. The high tech products were not there for the export, from where we can. Now just giving a simple example, our country is very rich in producing cotton. Okay, when we are there to produce the good quality of the cotton, our spinning section is also very rich. So you will study in the next part only, but then too I am just taking example from that part, that when our yarns are very superior quality, we are just exporting the yarns to the different parts of the world. Now, when we are exporting the yarns, we are there to earn the foreign exchange. We are earning foreign exchange. But our weaving section and knitting section is not so very upgraded due to lack of technology. So, what is the resultant? Our garment factory, that is our ready fabric or the garment factory, is not so very developed, and we are not there to export the garment. So, where we are earning? Are we earning huge by just exporting the yarns, or we could have earned more by exporting the garment? That means we are in a condition of loss. Now next, more dependence of manufacturing sector on the costly imported inputs. Our country is lacking in superior quality of the inputs, and we have to import the inputs from the different, and obviously it is increasing the cost of production. So we are just not there to compete in the international market, and that is why we got stagnated. So these are the reason why there was a stagnation. Now after seeing this part, what is the last thing? How the national economy is getting a contribution from the industrial sector. Now 27%, it's just mentioned over here 21C, it's just a printing mistake. It is 27% for the industry, which includes 10% of mining, quarrying, electricity and gas. And next, in comparison to its 17% share in GDP, the East Asian countries have contributed to 25 to 35% of their contribute to this GDP. Now the next it is, our part got stagnated, but after solving out the problems of the stagnation, the desired growth rate for the next decade is being fixed out for the 12% contribution to the GDP, and at present 9 to 10%. It is expected that we can achieve the growth at a rate of 12% by some efforts, but the setting up of NMCC, that is National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council, which was set up in the year 2003 with the motive or with the objective, so with this objective that we can achieve the that is the desired growth that has been fixed for the next decade. Now the Manufacturing Competitiveness Council that has been set up with this objective, they are there to just look after the development, look after the increase of the manufacturing sector with terms of economic development, and they are giving their effort, means government has renewed their efforts to improve the productivity, and even the economists are predicting that manufacturing can achieve its target over the next decade due to this that is the NMCC that has been implemented in the year 2003. So here I have completed all the topics related to the topics that I have fixed for the discussion for today's class. If you are having any doubts, just without any hesitation mention it in the comment section, and tomorrow I am going to conduct your live class, online live class, and just sort out your doubts of chapter number 1 and chapter number 4, that is resource chapter, and your chapter number 4, that is agricultural chapter. Just ask the question related to the chapter only. Don't ask such questions which is out of syllabus. It will be very difficult to manage the class with a stipulated period of time. Hopefully you will join the class, and thank you for following today's class. Have a nice day.